when Maggie first came in, and she had a piano demo, and she also had a version that was on acoustic guitar, and it was actually really cool to mess around with that. And so I still have the very first demo that we did, and it was in December of 2019 when we worked on this. We just demoed it out. We spent about 5 hours on it, and I'm going to play a little bit of it because it's actually quite different. We were waiting for Ben to kind of really do his part. Ben and Jeremy worked together, and yeah, so we kind of left the second verse untouched when we were doing the demo. This is the bridge though. Bridge is completely different. It's a lot slower, it's a lot more laid back, a lot more spacey. So that's the demo that me and Maggie did. So that lead guitar that we had in that first chorus of the demo, it got changed to using an EBow guitar, and I'll solo that out. So here's what we did. Just this real spacey ambient guitar. Not something that you notice, but you notice if it's taking out of the song. Just adds a really nice depth, especially with the harmonies that Maggie has in the background. They kind of go hand in hand with each other. In this first chorus, guitars are very basic. We're just holding out some chords. Big chords, just strumming those out. We're raking them out. Nothing crazy. And then of course we have acoustic. Just behind it. And that's really what's adding kind of the percussion like hits that are in this chorus. So when we get to the second verse, we actually add some cool stuff. That's when we start bringing in more upbeat drums and also more down plucks on the guitar, which add a really cool vibe to this. It gives it kind of more of a pop punk vibe. But here they are. I'll solo them out. This is in the second verse. Right? So we got those things going on, and then it actually goes into the second half of this verse, and we added a harmony. So this is what that sounds like. So they're actually really neat because they fill up a big gap that can be there. Right, and while that's going on, I still have the EBow guitar still trailing in the background. Just adding that depth. And then when we get to the chorus again, second chorus, you gotta build up, nothing crazy still. So now the rhythm guitar is doing full strums. The only guitar lead that we have going on over this point is still the EBow guitar that is just trailing in the background. Because we wanted to symbolize a build, and we got that build feeling just with the rhythm guitar. So the next part of the song is probably my favorite part of the song with how it turned out, because we changed from that very slow bridge that was very spacey and just abstract-y, and we went for more of an upbeat, especially in the second half, which we'll get to. We're doing one of these guys. So, I'm going to break this down a little bit because there's a lot of cool stuff that's happening in here. Kind of these big guitar chords. We've got some leads. We got some octave leads going behind that. Right? So, nothing too crazy. But I added some keys. I added this key melody that goes in behind it, and I'll solo all of these out. So this goes behind it. Right? Just a nice little catchy melody, kind of bouncing off the vocal melody, right? So this melody repeats, but this time when it comes around, I actually layered it with guitar. So that's behind it. And I actually didn't add any reverb or anything to this guitar because all of the piano and all of the synths have reverb, and it gives it that feeling. So with those both going together, it added the reverb that I wasn't getting from the guitar because the synths had it. So all of that in the mix, it's really awesome because this is also the time when the drums change the feel. So it feels like it is more aggressive and just like kind of like this climax of the song. And then, you know, we have this last chorus. It's big. I added another guitar lead in this. And this is really the only time in the chorus that it changes. I wanted it to be a little bit more aggressive. I didn't want it to be as spacey. I wanted it to feel a little bit bigger. So I actually just added a guitar arpeggio. So that's the guitar arpeggio. You can kind of hear it's a little saturated because I wanted it to be bright. I wanted it to kind of punch through without it being super loud. So I mixed it a little bright and a little saturated. So going back, that's totally in there. And it totally fills up a gap that wasn't in there before. Because we got the drums that have changed. And to finish it off, we got pad, piano, vocals, and acoustic. Pretty much the same way we started the song. We started and we ended the same.
So when this song first came to us at the studio, it was more so just vocals and piano. It was an idea. But I could tell immediately that the song had a lot of emotion, needed to breathe. So I wanted to kind of take a minimalist approach to the drums in this song. They never needed to be on the forefront. They needed to be kind of just a supporting cast to the song, per se. And I wanted some of those bigger reverby drums in this song, so kind of like a big warehouse sound to it. So like the first chorus is where the drums first make an appearance in the song, and it's just tom hits, like just two toms. So let's take a listen to that real quick. I'm not good at goodbyes, for better or for worse. I'd rather get burned than say I never tried. Go ahead, solo it out. You just kind of hear it. It's just those big, like, beefy, you know, room sound to those drums. The second verse, I wanted to add a little more drive to it, but I didn't want to go like the typical like pop punk route with the boom boom cha boom 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 cha, you know, a lot of kick into it. So I liked that concept of that rhythm in here, but I wanted to keep it a little more toned down. So we did that more with the snare, which is kind of, it almost has like a folky feel to it, but it sounds cool. So you kind of hear that beat, that groove going, the kick staying out of it most of the time. And it's mainly just snare. But it felt like the right amount of drums there. So really start to pick up on the intensity until the bridge of the song. Coming up right here. This is where the song starts to reach more of a sonic peak to it, so the crash felt more necessary to ride on there rather than staying on the ride cymbal. And then the drums to pick up right here on the back half of the bridge, I thought added a lot of energy to it. Now let's take a step aside from the drums and step over to the vocals now. We kept it pretty much during that whole first verse. I wanted to leave it on one vocal. I didn't want any layers to it, no harmonies, nothing. It needed to have like that very intimate, you know, emotional feel to it.
The sky was pink, my cheeks were red from all the stupid things you said again.
You know, just having that and the acoustic guitar really felt right. And then during the chorus itself, we have some pad vocals underneath the main and the harm. Kind of hear those. Just building the chord beneath the vocals, it beefs it up and it adds so much to the overall like sonic hugeness that chorus has. Adding those pads and those big beefy room toms, it changed the whole, you know, intensity of that section. We had, you know, Nick come in and do vocals for the bridge and the second verse. and he knocked it out of the park. He killed it. Going out of the bridge into the last chorus, very quiet, intimate right here, just one vocal, and then it starts building right here. So you can hear those pads all build up. They come in at different times, they layer, and then they all just drop into the final chorus. It really just made that transition so smooth. And I thought that was really one of my favorite moments in the song, was when those vocals just dropped in. It made that last chorus feel so complete. So I'm done!